2, Green River practice. A lot different conditions today. Overcast. Looking at probably, let's see, it's 64 degrees outside. So I know Sunday when we fished it was bluebird skies and sunny and 70. Today is definitely going to be overcast. They were actually calling for thunderstorms today, and I kept checking the weather, and they actually held them off till this afternoon and later tonight. So we might get a scattered shower, rain. But hell, I ain't going to melt, and I need to get another day of practice in before this tournament, because right now I have no confidence in this lake, and I don't like starting any tournament without having at least a couple spots that I have some confidence in. And right now I don't know where to run to Saturday. So yeah, I'm gonna practice again. So we're gonna head out. Got us the boat loaded up in the back, if y'all can see it back there or not, but the boat's loaded up. We're headed down the road, and see you when we get to the lake. Yow! So we made it on the water. Took me a little longer than I wanted. Had to tie some baits on and stuff that I thought we're going to work today. We've got several rods, as you can tell, tied on the deck. Still unsure what I want to do. Got a lot of cranks, a couple of top waters, some jerk baits, chatter baits, a couple worms, stuff like that. So we're going to try a bunch of different things today. Water temperature is right at 66 degrees. So yeah, it's a little windy out here. I'm going to run over here and fish this rock real quick that I looked at Sunday that I wanted to fish, but changed the chatterbait up. I know last Sunday I threw a white one. I really didn't get to change a whole lot up because I was having, like I said, the battery was kind of throwing me off my kilter. Change it over to a bluegill pattern. You know, right now these bass should be spawning, or some could be done with the spawn. So, you know, they feed up on those bluegill because those bluegill are predators to their eggs. So I tied a bluegill colored one on, and so I'm gonna throw that. Got a couple crawfish colored cranks and rattle traps. So yeah, go and stay tuned and we'll see what happens. Hopefully today's a lot better than Sunday. You know, it's a lot more cloudier. I know a lot of people think that, you know, bluebird skies and everything and prettier weather is better fishing, but I mean, I'd rather fish in weather like this personally. So yeah, hopefully today's better. Well, caught a little crappie. Wrong species. Didn't have the camera on, like always. Back up here in this pocket. Looks like you're getting ready to rain on us, but I'm back up here in this cove still, throwing a wacky worm on a flat here. So far I ain't having much success. That's actually the first fish. I ended up working that square bill back in here, but so yeah, we're gonna go back up in here in this pocket and see if we can find some. Maybe they should be bedding up here. Who knows? So yeah, first fish. Little crappie. There you guys go. Is it better? Like I said, we're back here in this little pocket. Still close to the main lake, as you can tell. So I fished those 2 points coming back in here on the right side, which would be y'all's left, I guess. Oh, we got the power poles. There we go. So yeah, this pocket looks pretty delicious. Oh, there's a bite. There's a nibble. Probably another crappie. But yeah, I can't wait to fish all this delicious looking stuff. This all looks delicious. There's gotta be fish back up in here. I think we're really getting ready to get wet here in a minute. Getting ready to get sprinkles. Man, this looks good back in here. This is like something you see on a postcard or something. Water's got a good color. We're supposed to get a bunch of rain tomorrow. Supposed to get rain tonight too, so it's probably gonna dirty it up. Water's high from since Sunday. That dock that Mom actually walked onto the boat from was underwater, so I couldn't tie off to that. I had to actually bank the boat when I took it off the trailer. So I guess they turned the dam down a little bit, so they're not letting as much water out. But so a lot of this stuff is probably going to be underwater come tournament day. Look at that little fish has got that little bass, that crappie. Huh. Did y'all see that? If we was on the crappie, we'd be on them. Crappie dinner. Did y'all see that crappie come up and eat that? Easy, buddy. Huh. Nice little crappie. Goodbye. Like I said, I'm fishing a little VMC weedless with Strike King. And I got that paired up on a Dobbins Colt Series 7-foot medium light fast action spinning rod with a Daiwa. What kind of rod reel is this? Reros, I guess is how you say it. Probably didn't even say that right. Good little light rod for this kind of fishing, I think. Any kind of like Ned rig, and I use the rod for Ned rig, drop shot, wacky rig, you know, stuff like that. It's perfect. I got it paired up with some, what is this? Man, that's bad. I can't remember this line. It's 15 pound. I want to say it's Seagar braid on a 10 pound fluorocarbon leader. So I always use fluorocarbon. But yeah, if we were crappie fishing guys, we would be in the money. All those guys are out there on that main lake crappie fishing out there in the deep. They're back here in the shallows. It's kind of cool. I watched that fish come up and eat that bait. This water's pretty clear, given how much rain we've had this year. And the rain we're about to get, it is about to pour on me. It's alright though. I knew that coming out here. I don't mind a little rain. I don't mind a bit. There should be a bass up in here. That should be all gooey gooey. Oh, I'm having so much trouble figuring these fish out on this lake. But I am. It's part of it though. We'll figure it out. I've seen a lot of bass boats running up and down, so it's either a good sign or a bad sign. So, but, oh, there's a bass right there. I don't know if you guys can see that fish. He's right there on top of that wood. If y'all can see there or not, y'all probably can't see. Let's see if we can get to catch that fish. He's not very big. He's probably a pound. He's coming off of it now, actually. Come on, buddy. He don't act like he's very intrigued by my worm. he nosed it, but I haven't seen any beds on these banks either, so I don't know what these fish are doing. I know the water temperature's right. I know what they should be doing. That was kind of loud. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess we're going to fish this one out. And then I think what I'm going to do is, when I get to this corner up here, I'm going to run back across the lake, get my drinks. Get my drinks out of the truck. And then I'll come back over here and I'm going to fish that riffraff, the square bill. And I'll get back with you guys. Fix this here before we go into some bushes. I've actually moved since y'all seen me last. I've actually went and got the waters for one. I guess last time y'all seen me, we were over there on that rock area. So I moved across the lake to this little pocket. So hang on one second, let me get the boat out here and get this fish. Well, we caught a fish, but it's still the wrong species. Spot lock us. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right, buddy, calm down. Whoa, buddy. Oh. Mr. Slimes. Let me get me a pair of pliers. Easy, bud. Easy. Like I said, guys, we still haven't got on what we want to get on, but easy. Golly, this son of a bitch got some power on him. I don't want a treble hook in my finger, dude. I know you don't want it in your face. I'm trying to help you out. So help me help you, huh? Easy. Golly, dude. There you go. Slimy thing, boy. Whee. Of course, I don't have a towel in here. Go check my line. Caught him over there by those trees right there. Throwing this little square bill that I picked up. Damn, is that a fray or? Yep, he frayed my line. So always check your line, guys. That's one thing I know we getting. I even do it. I get into a rush of I'm catching fish and I want to throw back out there, but you know, I've only got one of those baits that color too, so you know, let's say I throw back out there and then I didn't check my line. I set the hook on an actual good fish that we're out here trying to get. Oop. And there I am stuck looking like an idiot because I didn't check my line. even when you don't catch a fish, it's always good to check your line, especially when you're fishing around stuff. I mean, for those of you that don't know, people that may know may not even worry about what I'm trying to say, but people that don't really have an idea or that are new to fishing, you always want to check your line, especially when you're throwing crankbaits or especially square bills. Because square bills, you're going to use around a lot of structure. You're going to bounce it off stuff to get a reaction bite. So what I'm doing here is I'm throwing this around rock and wood and everything else. So, and the means of doing that, the line can get frayed. So if you don't check your line periodically, you could get a bad spot in it, and then of course could cost you your fish and your bait. So you don't want to do that. So yeah, check your line. It'll take but a few seconds if you don't get a hook in your finger first. And also I recommend throwing fluorocarbon. I'm throwing 10-pound here. I don't have so much trouble getting this on here, but yeah, I'm throwing 10-pound fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon doesn't have any give, and I think it's a lot more abrasion resistant. So this is P-line. I've actually got some P-line Tactical. I just ain't got it tied on. If you guys have an Academy next to you, or I don't know if Academy's doing it. I think anybody that sells P-line is actually supposed to be doing it, but P-line is buy one get one free. I don't know how much more long it lasts, but it might be over by the time you watch this. But so yeah, P-line 100% fluorocarbon is the way to go, in my opinion. Let's get back to it. So like I said, throwing this square bill up here in this cove, little slight slope, there's some trees coming off of it. It's not very deep back here. I'm kind of just letting this thing bounce off the bottom. We're in actually 6 foot of water right here, but I mean, this is where the bass should be at. They should be spawning back in these pockets, or at least they should be making their way back in here. So what I'm doing is, or how I practice right now this time of year, is I'm going to do like the fish do. I'm going to start out on the main lake, and then I'm going to work my way. What is all that? Oh, I'm going to start out on the main lake, and then I'm going to work my way back into these pockets, these creeks. I know that might be the wrong way of doing it, but that's how I do it because I'm still learning. And that way I reassure myself, I guess, more or less, that, you know, if I find the fish back in here, then that's where they're at. Or if I find them out there, if I fished in here and I didn't catch anything and that's all I focused on, and I didn't fish any of the main lake points or anything like that, then, you know, fish might not be back in here yet. So if that makes any sense to you, I don't know if that was just a bunch of jumble of words. It might have been, but so yeah, hopefully that made sense. And like I said, I'm no professional, by no means. I'm learning. So fishing, all it is luck, man. It's being in the right place at the right time with the right bait. You know, a lot of times these baits, people get sold on these baits, or we get sold on these baits as fishermen and fisherwomen due to the looks and, you know, the colors of them and stuff. I mean, yeah, that has something to do with it in some form or fashion, but I mean, you know, I was watching a show the other night, and Justin Lucas and Bradley Roy and those guys were talking about it, you know, and they were saying that it's all about what you're fishing is what they focus on. What structure they're fishing is what type of bait they throw. It's not, you know, the type of color. I mean, now granted, you know, the color of the water, you know, kind of plays a part, but you know, fish don't care if you're throwing there's a bite, a green pumpkin versus a green pumpkin red flake. So I mean, I know we kind of get caught up in that game of stuff, just like frog fishing. You know, you go to the store and you look at frogs. I don't know if you guys can hear me over this wind, but you go to the Bass Pro Shop, Cabela's, or Academy, and you look at frogs, and you look at the tops of those frogs. I mean, yeah, they look realistic, but I mean, the fish aren't seeing the top of the frog; they're seeing the bottom of the frog. That's the only part that really matters. And if you look at generally all the frogs that are made, generally a lot of them are either white, black, yellow, or they got a little bit of red in them. So I mean, that's the only part that the fish are seeing. We get sold on the top of it. That's the customer side of the frog. So, you know, it's a short tip. I mean, don't get so caught up in having to have every color frog just because of what the top of the box looks like. You know, when you go to the store and you're like, man, look at the detail on the top of that frog. I mean, all the different greens and golds, and I mean, that means somebody, I mean, that's well made. I mean, yeah, it looks great. I mean, but that's your side. That's for you to look at. That's not for the fish. And that's, you know, nothing against the people that make those baits, because I mean, I have some, but I don't buy them for that reason. I buy them because of I like their product, and you know, of how they do their color scheme on the belly of the frog. So that's just a short little, there's some trees right there, that's good. Just a short little hint, you know, a little tip, I guess. Tip of the week. You know, don't get caught up in having to have every color of everything, because I do it myself. I catch myself doing that still. So I have to tell myself that over and over and over. But yeah, so we're going to keep fishing this bank, and we're going to keep hitting points. We're going to keep fishing back in pockets, and hopefully eventually we're going to get on some kind of pattern and figure something out. Because right now I've caught 2 crappie and a channel catfish, and neither of those can I bring into weigh-in on Saturday. I could take them home and fry them puppies up in some canola oil. Look at that sucker swimming. But yeah, I can't weigh those in, so I got to figure this out. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. So yeah, I might run up the water here in a minute. Maybe do a little observation. I do that too every now and then. I'll run around and look and see what other boats are doing. You know, kind of see what everybody else is doing. Because there could be locals around here fishing, and they could kind of tell me what's going on. They might tell me what the bite is. I've done that before, where I've ran up the lake and seen people kind of like, oh man, there's the 6th or 7th person I've seen fishing a point. So I'll put a mental note, or I'll mark it on my Lowrance as I'm going down the water. So that's another tip. You know, as you're moving from place to place, kind of keep your eyes out, see what everybody else is doing. Because you could be, you know, even though you might be on a lake you fished before, but you know, could be people out there that fish a whole lot more than you. And if you're seeing people doing the same thing, that could be a telltale sign. Could reassure you that you're doing the right thing. So yeah, so we're going to keep doing this, and hopefully we'll figure them out here in a minute. What I'm doing now, guys, I'm just kind of riding around scanning some stuff. Excuse me, scanning some points. Y'all can see that there. I'm going to pull y'all out here. Going over these points. Probably going to fish this creek pocket here. I've fished this before. I've caught some bass in it, but .9 degrees, 12 foot of water. I know there's a lot of wood back in this pocket. You can't see it right now because it's flooded. I'm going to scan this point over here real quick. And then we're probably gonna fish this point. Well, okay. Something was wrong with my GoPro. I sit there and caught a bass. It wasn't a big one. It was a small one. But I caught off this point right here. Little video spot. And I was like, man, I thought I had my GoPro recording, and I looked down and it was like locked up. So I don't know if that's something, maybe y'all can comment and let me know. The battery was, I had to take the battery out, and then I put the battery back in. I'm gonna spot lock right here. I put the battery back in and it said like 19%, but it was saying like 30% before. So I changed the battery, now it's working, so I don't know. y'all let me know. I'm new to this stuff with a GoPro, so. But yeah, throwing this squirrel bill off this point. I fished back in that cove, but it got really windy a while ago. Had to get out of there. It was trying to blow me back in there, so. Like I said, we do have a storm blowing in tonight. So, I think these fish would be on fire right now. The storm coming in. It might be. I just might not be in the right area. So, caught a small little bass. Like I said, he wasn't nothing even. Hell, the bait was bigger than he was. So, but I'm going to throw a couple more times on here because just to keep them honest. I guess right now it is, what time is it? 1:30. We've been out here. I got out here kind of late. I wanted to get out here. If I'd have known that it wasn't going to rain, or not so much rain, but I guess lightning, then I'd have got out here first light. But I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to chance it. So I'm not going to fish in lightning. It ain't worth all that. I will fish in the rain. I don't care about the rain, but I won't fish in the lightning. So got here about 10:30. Got a late start, so we've only fished a couple hours. I plan on trying to fish the whole day if I can, unless something bad happens with the weather. Right now it don't look like it's going to be nothing but just wind. Might get a little rain here in a minute, but I don't mind that. So, like I said, I caught that fish off this point. Wasn't nothing to brag over, even worth even really showing you guys. I'm just glad I found out my camera wasn't working. I just don't know what the deal was. So, I don't know. Maybe y'all know. Let me know if you know. I'm new to the GoPro stuff. Alright, so like I said, what I'm doing now is I'm up here in this flat. I don't know if this is a waste of time or not, but I want to try it. I'm throwing this chatterbait. It's bluegill colored pattern. Like I said, you know, this time of year, these bass come in here and they feed up on these bluegill because, you know, bluegill eat their eggs. So we'll see if this is something that might be something that'll do it or not. I don't know. So right now I ain't got no kind of pattern. And I've noticed there's a set of guys back there. They were fishing a point. So I've seen a couple guys fishing some points, but they ain't staying on very long. They're moving back in the coves, and of course they're not hanging back there very long. They're leaving. So I'm sure somebody somewhere wrecking them. That's how it always goes. But the fish are somewhere. I just got to find out where that's at. And that's the plan. We got to find them. And the only way to do that is not to sit on one area for too long. You got to keep your foot on the trolling motor. And you got to keep moving. Even though stuff looks good and you want to fish it, you want to sit there because you know there's got to be a fish there. That's the hard part. It's hard for me, is, you know, like looking at these trees. I'm like, man, I want to sit here and fish all this, but you know, I can't waste the time. You know what I mean? I've only got so much time today to fish all this, to fish pretty much. So I've got to just burn the water and get on some fish to have an idea what to do for Saturday, if I can figure anything out. Might not be able to figure anything out, which is fine. I mean, that's fishing, and I'm still learning. I'm no pro, by no means. Like I said, we're on a big flat. It's 4 foot of water right here. It's not very deep. Maybe this will be the ticket, or maybe not. Lost my flippy flop. How I'm working this chatterbait is I do a couple different ways. I don't know if you can see that in my hand, but sometimes I'll reel it and I'll kind of like, you know, I'm sitting there working it and I'll kind of give it a little action. Sometimes I'll reel it back real slow. but you know, it is a jig. It's a vibrating jig, so I mean you can dance it. I've worked it to where I've flipped it like a jig, where I let it go to the bottom and I've ripped it. Let it go to the bottom, ripped it. I mean, so there's a lot of things you can do with a chatterbait. There's no rules. Make it your own, but yeah, kind of bounce out. I like bouncing around a little bit. Sometimes I reel it real slow back to the boat, but oh, that's not what you want to do with it though, right there. Just get her up in the trees. Oh my gosh, y'all see that? That chatterbait literally fell apart. What in the world? Come on now, chatterbait. In the world? I think that's the only blue color one I got, dude. Golly. You got to be more careful. Well, I found another one here. It's kind of got a bluegill pattern. I'll try to tie this sucker on. It's a silver blade instead of gold, but I need to get some more of the other ones. I've been thinking about getting some of the jackhammers. I don't know if any of y'all are throwing the jackhammers. I've talked to a few different people that's thrown them, and I mean, people are swearing by them. I don't know if there's that much of a big difference in them. I haven't thrown them, so I can't say, but everybody that I've talked to say that, oh man, if you're not throwing a jackhammer, you're not throwing a chatterbait. But now, I mean, there could be the truth. I don't know, but it's just hard for me to spend $15, and I know that's petty, being that, you know, I've got some baits in my tackle box that are way more than $15. I've got some swim baits in there that are triple that, but so I don't know. What y'all suggestion on that? Any of y'all throwing the or any of y'all throwing, come on now, the jackhammers? And this all looks scrumptious, deliumptious back up in here. You ever pull into a pocket and you're like, man, this is fishy. This is how I feel right now. Fishy. There's gotta be fish up in here. Let's see, it's almost 70-degree water temperature. Oh, there's gotta be fish in here. Oh, show. Surprised I haven't seen any up in the shallow. I mean, I know we've seen some this morning. Well, I know I've seen some. I don't know if you guys could have seen them, but you know, cruising these banks or whatever, I can see pretty good with these polarized glasses. That's another thing, man. You should get you a good set of. And that didn't work out like I wanted to. Hit my side. You should get you a good set of polarized glasses, man. Because I'm telling you what, it makes a huge difference. I mean, you can see. You see down in that water really good. Like, I'm wearing a pair of Costas. Want to give these guys a run for their money. I fish with a good group of guys, man. I started fishing with these guys last year. The Lake Runners Club. The Lip Ripper Club, I just started fishing this year. I've only fished one tournament with them, but they're a good group of guys too so far. You know, like I said, I've only got to fish once with them, and they seem like a nice group of guys. The Lake Runner Club, you know, we fished last year together, and those guys are awesome to fish with. And like I said, even if I get to fish the know if y'all can, this is a good angle or not. Well, I'm in the truck. I'm done. Boat's loaded. So, as you can tell from the video, no different than Sunday really when it comes to the fishing part, I guess. Caught some fish, but nothing really to brag about. So we're just gonna wing it Saturday, and that's all we can do. Sometimes it's how the cookie crumbles, I guess. So yeah, I don't know what else to do besides to fish Saturday. You know, some of the pros you watch, they say, I'm just gonna go practice. That's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm going to fish Saturday. I'm going to do exactly what I did today, Saturday. I have nothing to go to. I got some spots that I like, and I got some spots where I've seen fish, but it doesn't mean they're going to be there Saturday. It doesn't mean I'm going to catch them. So, but to see what happens, stay positive. So hopefully, that's what will happen. Like I said, this will be the first video I record on the tournament. I don't know how good it's going to be, so I apologize in advance. But yeah, this is like a little outro. I'm leaving Green River, headed home to watch Avengers. So I guess until next time, I'm sure there'll be a next time. I'm not even sure on top of my head because I'm so worn out and exhausted and hungry that I don't remember when the next tournament is or where it's at. So, but till we're back on the water, holla at your boy. Peace out.